All right. Welcome to Transparency and Merit. What's going on, Brian?
Not much. I'm hearing an echo, but that's okay.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, I hear I was hearing an echo, and now I'm not anymore. So that's good.
That's good. All right.
So, yeah, this is.
Are you still hearing it?
A little bit, I guess. Maybe, I'm not sure. Very little, but I don't think we'll be able to hear it back in the replay, and that's good. But
right. So what are we doing tonight? What's this? Demonstrating willpower during
the pandemic. Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yeah. And for some, it's easy. Others, not so much. But it is what it is, Joe. And you know what? I find that my weaknesses and my bad habits have resurfaced during this whole pandemic, during this quarantine. It's just gotten a little bit worse for me, and so I'm exacerbating some of my bad habits, and I'm also new ones, like just unhealthy sleeping patterns that I haven't been doing, and like that I didn't do when I was younger, but now I'm just caught up into it right now, and it's kind of rough. And I've always been kind of a procrastinator and not doing what I was supposed to be doing, and now it seems to have gotten a little bit progressively worse. So. So I'm just
what do you think is creating this this lack of willpower? As we look at all the pictures demonstrating willpower,
it may have been some of things that happened to my childhood and my adulthood, but I think now it's just a habit of doing things. I mean, I am diabetic, and sweets do taste good, and the craving is there. So it's, there may be some underlying issues with that, but it's also like, it's kind of like a drug. I mean, the drug feels good, and maybe to occupy myself with something else that feels good, like doing a show. Doing a show feels good. And if I can occupy my mind with something else, it's still going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes the craving is so strong that no matter what, what I try to do, it's not going to subside. It's going to be there. It's a strong urge.
Well, since we are a show about answers, what are you going to do to make that change?
Well, right now I'm just, doing other things, trying to put my mind off it. I mean, the thing is, the more you try not to think about it, though, I mean, I've tried several things, and the more I take my mind off it, I mean, like, try taking your mind off of something doesn't necessarily work. I always have, like, late at night, I always say before my head hits the pillow that things are going to be better, But it's a whole other story getting up in the morning and just feeling that drag. You know, me being diabetic and the like, it's just the drag just goes out of me. Although I'll say this, I've committed not to talking or engaging with certain people online because it's a waste of time, and they're primarily there to hurt you. Like far leftist and fanatical anti-racist, I've chose for the most part, like unless they're on our show and they want to have a civilized discussion, but online, I've kind of think, I don't want to engage them because the only thing, they either will ignore you, which is a waste of time, if they're not going to come to you, or they'll try to hurt you. They'll ignore you and then try to hurt you. So I found that the best thing to do is gain people who are into freedom, who believe in freedom of speech. And this is a time to gain allies. Afterwards, maybe you can engage, but even then, online, it's become very clear that there are certain powers that control online and online dialogue. And if you ask too many questions, I think that you can be certainly punished.
Well, good things are happening. Friday, we were invited to a podcast that's larger than ours. It's not hard to do. But we're going to be on the Mad Shangi show, and they're Canadian, or at least Coach Shangi is Canadian. And we were discussing some of the potential ideas and topics, and it looks good. I think we're going to have some really good things to talk about, and it's going to be a good panel, and we will make sure to spread the link so everybody can be there. We expect you all to be there.
I hope so. I have not listened to their show at all. I probably will take some time to get a little bit familiar with them. Are they on you? I mean, I'm assuming that they'd have a YouTube channel.
You were included in the emails. Are you checking your emails? Check your emails later. You don't have to do it now. There's a link in there.
All right. Did you send it to my Stoic one?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Good. So
yeah, we will be on that Friday night. It's going to be good. RD is here. Mandy Pinetown is here.
Mandy, yes. I saw
good
her
timing,
picture, and what a fox she is. She showed everyone her picture. And by the way, I want to mention that.
Show you again,
that Mandy.
Oh, you're on. You can't do the. Okay, never mind. I was going to put my face on her bust there, but
I have found that Mandy is in. I guess I don't know if it's Goofy Bones. If it's Goofy Bones.
Instagram,
yeah. So.
Yeah, we expect some pictures, please.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I checked, by the way, he was on Twitter, and he does Periscope videos, and it's really just him babbling about women he slept with and all the weed he smokes. The exact same thing he was talking about 10 years ago. Exactly.
So, people don't change. And our people make, I mean, I've made small changes. Like, I don't drink soda pop anymore. I've cut that out of my life. But I still at times crave, very strong craving for sugar, like the strongest, like just ever. And I don't know, they talk about gastric bypass surgery. People have had that. I wonder if there are appetite suppressants that people can do.
What's a DILF?
What's that?
What's a DILF?
DILF. Daddy, I'd like to.
Hey, Daddy.
JP is a daddy. I'd like to.
I'll take it.
Yeah, good. Yes. She doesn't say that about me. So I guess
Well,
something to
she's
be,
got another word.
yeah. Maybe
How about a filth? You're a
I'm
filth. A fatty I'd like to fuck.
a gilg, a galoot. How about a gilf? A galoot I'd like to fuck.
Gilf is already taken. Sorry.
No, gilf is already taken.
Yep. A granny. That's reserved for grannies.
No, it's called what's it called? Granny? I'd like to. Is it Granny?
Well, who's here for willpower? We got 4 people in there watching, and they want to know what you're doing for willpower. You still chew gum?
I chew gum, but I think that works. I think that works against me. To be quite honest with you, Joe, because when you chew gum, then you just, like, and I chew sugar-free gum, and probably you just want, and probably it's probably like bad for my health as well. I might just stop that. It's just, I just chew gum all the time, and it's just, it makes a mess. And when I was at work, my coworkers, because I share an office space, my coworkers like wanted to murder me when I'd be chewing gum. Like, would you get pissed if like you were behind somebody's ear, like if someone was behind you and they were chewing gum behind you? Would you just want to like
Prankville is here. He's
prank
got willpower.
Prankville?
By the way, Todd Morris has been active. He's made a couple videos at least today.
Yeah.
Must see TV.
I'll tell
I
you.
love Todd Morris.
Todd
Morris, you're my hero.
I'll tell you off air. The name Todd Morris gives himself some. He calls in. I think it's kind of hysterical, but the avatar he used. Do you know the name he calls himself?
No.
Okay, it's an interesting one in my opinion. I don't know if they have a let me see. We don't have private chat anymore, Joe.
Yeah, we do.
Let me see. Oh, private chat. I just wanted to. So when he calls in, he does use a funny name, though.
Brian, use your time wisely. We only have so long, and there are people here waiting for the willpower to hit them. They want answers.
Sorry, hold on. I just thought you'd be.
And I don't know about you, but I've been sleeping better than ever.
I left your private chat, but calls it, and this person's name is. That's the name he gives. I just thought that was. It's really It's completely politically incorrect at this particular time, but I.
All hail Todd Morris.
Yeah, that's one of the, yeah.
All hail Todd Morris immediately.
Yes, absolutely. So I find that that gives me some really big, like when someone said,
So what are you going to do differently? I tried to light your fire, a fire under your butt before the show. What are you going to do to make changes and snap out of this funk?
You know what?
Because I've noticed in your voice every show in the last week. Yes, your OG shades are on.
Thank you.
But you've gone downhill in the last week. You're almost dead. Your pulse is non-existent.
That is probably the diabetes, but also I want to, like to a degree, I want to control my my anger and my temper because the subject matters that I'm tackling. If I get too angry or I get too excited, then I'm going to, like I said, there's a lot of people that want to bait you, will try to bait you and make you say and do things that will get you in further trouble. and it's not a good idea to do that because right now certain subjects that are taboo, there are people out there that they will try to take you down on any like just on any level, and they have a lot of power. So you have to play the cards you were dealt the best way you can. And one of the things that I've been better about is controlling my anger and finding who is with me on this. Because in my opinion, I believe that my arguments about this issue are very stable and are very good. For those who want to have an honest discussion, and if they are curious about it. But if I try to chase people down and react to people getting pissed off, because there are a lot of people who just want to shut you down. They're fanatical, and they just want to shut you. Like they don't want to hear what you have to say, and they basically just want to shut you down. So the best thing to do right now is to kind of be cool about it. It's like, and go to the places where people are willing to listen to what you say, and go to the areas where people are willing to listen to what you say. And then later on, hopefully mount a successful mount a successful campaign, like for truth. Because that's what we're about. And the views that some people have, they're controversial, and it's like, if you're a person that believes something to be true and it's controversial and it's taboo, there's going to be resistance to that. And that's, the truth is, Joe, that's been throughout history. Where there's some truth, and you get to realizing truth. When I first realized the truth, I was angry about it, and I reacted angrily about it. And I realized that that's not a good strategy. Just as like when I learned boxing and stuff and self-defense, the one mistake that you do, there are two things you can do. The two emotions that can overtake you. One is fear, because you won't do what you have to do, and the other is anger. Anger, can hurt someone who's paralyzed by fear and doesn't know what they do. But anger will not go well against someone who is well trained and disciplined. So I got to kind of channel my anger into more productive things, because if I don't, the other side's going to win. And to a degree, you also got to realize you're going up against there's one group that they have the heavyweight title, and if you want to defeat them, you got to train hard, and you got to think hard, and you can't just go in there half-assed. So you have to work hard before you go up against certain groups, certain I don't want to say what troops I'm going up against, but you got to kind of train hard before you do that. And I haven't done that, but that should be the motivation for me. Because freedom is important, and the First Amendment is important. And it's
and there's also priorities I don't think you've considered that should be higher on your list of things to do. It's not all about you, though. I'm doing the same thing, making sure I'm doing. I've already got work back. It's crazy. I'm working almost not full time, but I'm back doing that, and I've had to rearrange some other priorities. So trying to.
School's not back, but I guess they probably have gotten some of that sweet cash. And it's like, yeah, I mean, and you're able to work from home. And I'll go on with further. I mean, I'd go on maybe with further questions on that, but I'll save that for another time. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think what I'm going to try to do is, be constructive with my anger and not, destructive with my anger. Like, if you act out on it and you inflict pain on the innocent, that's destructive. But if you, put it towards work and you put it towards study and you put it towards, acquiring things, then that's what do you call it? The difference between it's constructive. Man, I almost lost my brain here. But yeah, it's constructive. So I want to do constructive things with my anger instead of destructive things with my anger. Like, and then there's getting the pity party and feeling sorry for yourself. So I don't necessarily, that's not what I want to do.
There you go. No, you don't. Don't want to go there. Don't want to go there. This ain't no pity party.
Absolutely not.
Wow. I'm surprised there are as many listeners as we have. I'm excited about it. Please make sure you're liking this show. But I don't know what else. What else is driving you to? What are you exercising?
A little bit, but I should start exercising more.
I think we could all do a little more of that.
I want to exercise more, and there are things that I'm angry about, and I want to put that kind of like pen to paper, what I'm angry about and how I can deal with that constructively instead of, like I said, destructively. Whether it's hurting someone, like hurting someone personally, or which is destructive, or overeating. I want to not do those things and do things that are more constructive instead of destructive. I have already said that. So I'm repeating myself, Joe, and I don't want to go any further than that. I think I've said all I have to say on that at the moment. Joe, do you have anything to add?
No, I think it's a good topic. I think it's really good. We're going to check in with you every day. We're going to check on your state of mind.
Now, by the way, I mentioned like and subscribe, and if anyone has any videos or anything like that, put them in the link below, and I might look at them, because I'm always like checking, and I do it too often. I'm checking my Twitter and I'm checking my Instagram and my Facebook and the rest. So, you know what? Have any suggestions? Please feel free. All right.
When are they opening the paddle tennis courts in your city?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look and see if they've opened them up again.
All right. And I guess that'll be it for tonight.
That'll do it.
You're good. All right. We made 23 minutes. You were right on the money. You said about 20 minutes. All right, everybody, join us again, Transparency and Merit, where we are here to defeat laziness, procrastination, and we strive for willpower and determination.
Yeah, because people that are able to control their willpower and aren't destructive, it's a better nation, and then it's also a better world. The more people are able to overcome negative habits and destructive habits.
All right.